Okay.
Okay.
This time we have picture. Or do we have sound?
We should have sound.
Hello. Can he hear us? Nick Bruni, third time's a charm. It's the fourth time. You missed one. Do we have it? Yes, we got it. What's with the gas pump? Nick Bruni's special. Thank you, Nick. All right. So, all right. I'm assuming we got sound. A for effort. But do we have sound? Can you hear us?
Yes.
Who said yes?
No.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes. Yay, confirmation. We did it. All right. Yeah, we tried everything.
We rebooted the whole building.
Something happened. See, I got the mixer working, and I had everything working, like the speaker, everything was working. And then all of a sudden it just stopped, and I don't know what happened with it. So how did we fix it? I don't even know what we did. What did we do?
We turned off the modem. We reset the computer 5 times. We unplugged all the crap from the computer, plugged it back in, all the settings, and
yeah. So yeah, and then we hit all of the restore to default. So right now it's on the microphone on the laptop.
It's a shitty echo.
The one that you guys always complain about.
It's the only one that works.
Yes.
Sorry.
The sound is very low. I know. There's nothing I can do about it. The sound is low. All right. So it's Wednesday, and happy Wednesday to everybody who celebrates this day in the middle of the month and the middle of the week. It's a good Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yes. Mexican Spec, so you'll forgive us. Thank you, Mexican Spec. I needed your forgiveness.
Yes, thank you. We forgive this.
All right. We're international, bro. We're international.
Oh, I know.
You know. Let's see. Hank Hill, can you tell me what the Chrysler's cleaner air package in the 60s? How do I identify it? The PCV valve and California cars had a spark retard. How do you identify it? Geez, off the top of my head, I can't think of it. Google a picture of it.
Yeah, the spark retard was for NOx, and then it had PVC for cleaner air.
Scar 7787 tried to help us. Thank you, man. I know there was like nothing. We tried everything. We were trying everything that people were, suggesting, but Mopars, change to a hotter plug.
Change oil in the laptop.
Speedy says he knew some weird crap was going to go down. How did you know? How did you know some weird crap?
It's not even a full moon, dude. Well, yeah, tell us your insight.
It's always a full moon to me.
Every
day. Every day is a full moon. Key Nelson, thanks for the video with that magazine, dude. That was great. That's Jeff Stunkard, and we are going to do another one this month. I don't know when exactly. We're going to try to narrow it down a little bit because, as you know, we were like all over the freaking map, right? But we're going to try to narrow it down a little bit for the next one, and it'll be fun. It'll be great. Speed Demon, can't wait for the Fudge Grudge Race this Friday. What's the plan? Are you guys filming from multiple spots? There is no plan, man. Whatever Jamie wants to do. It's Jamie's stage, and I'm just dancing on it, man. Whatever he wants to do. Are you going to be there on Friday? Okay. Dr. Art's going to be there.
Yeah, at the undisclosed.
At the undisclosed location,
yeah. Smoke signals. Let me know where you're going because I don't even know yet.
He won't know until we give him a piece of paper. We won't even speak it. We have to write the location down on a piece of paper and slip it to him at the very last minute.
The government intervention.
Yes. Brad's Restorations, win, lose, or draw. We need video of you all sharing the ice cream cake. End of time. Steve, it's not Steve Manti, it's Steve Manyanti. His GoFundMe is over $277,000. So people keep telling me, keep in the comments. They're like, you got to mention Steve's GoFundMe, right? And
it's all over
it's all over everything. We don't have to mention it. It's doing great. Everybody has contributed. Thank you so much for contributing to our colleague. is over $277,000 now. It's, you know, it's a big chunk of change, but it doesn't really replace the parts of his life that are missing now, and because he had to get rid of a lot of stuff. But you guys really stepped up. Thank you so much on behalf of him and everybody else in this business. Yesterday, a 2-hour repeater went $50,000. Yeah, it's awesome. Seriously, thank you guys.
Yeah, even big. I mean, he had a thing on his channel, and there was a bunch of that I seen on my feed. People, yeah, big channels.
And Craig Jackson probably didn't give a dime. Let's not say that. Let's not say that. He might have. That might have been the big jump. But regardless, whoever contributed to him, you guys are awesome. Everybody is awesome. Let's see. Straight Bullet says Jamie has a secret to his speed. Yeah, he watches my videos. That's how he knows how to go fast.
Oh, he was doing the whole drag race alignment right out of the Mopar book today. Did you see that video?
No, I didn't.
He's got the Mopar drag racing book and open up to the alignment, and he's lowering the back of the ball joint so that when the tires come up, it doesn't toe in. And yeah, so he was. I mean, he's got his car as dialed as he can possibly make it.
Let's see. Mopar man, you guys should do a build and sell it to benefit Steve. That would be. Steve's okay. He's doing all right. He doesn't need us to build anything for him. He's great. Hey, it's Jamie, Dead Dog's Garage, and I don't know where the hell he is, but he's supposed to be here tomorrow, sometime in the afternoon. So perhaps if I get this thing squared away, we will do a live with him tomorrow. Let's see. Tars Skarts, because where is Kiwi? Isn't he usually here? Where is Kiwi?
He was. I talked to him earlier today. This is my version, so it's okay. He was at the doctor's today, and he had some small medical procedures done. Not the joking facelift, but some stuff. And he's going to be MIA for a minute or two. Okay. I'm going to see him Saturday. He's going to come over to the house and help me put the front end on Big Richard and stuff like that, since it's his truck.
Rocco, thank you for the $5, man. I appreciate that. Tony, we're running flipper cars. You are the man. Behind you 100%. Don't ever compromise your principles. I will not compromise my principles.
Did you get responses?
In what way?
Because you put out a thing that's if you've been screwed by one of these places and you can document it.
I had 2 people send me responses so far.
Okay.
One of them with pretty good pictures. I'm going to wait until I have several, and then I'm going to have them tell their own stories. So they're going to have them shoot a video of themselves telling their story on the phone with their documentation. Right. Okay. So this way, I'm not inserting myself. You see what I'm saying? I'm just presenting.
You're just regurgitating.
I'm just presenting.
Yes.
I'm just presenting. Jamie is currently swerving down a tiny back road in Arkansas. Nice.
He's close then.
Yeah. Did you get by Mopar Joe's? So let's see. So Kiwi spoke to Dr. Art and not Tony. Uh-oh.
No, you talked, right?
Yeah, he just told me to get my Hemi, get his Hemi stuff over to you.
I guess I'll be get a trip to Franklin.
He's a little miffed at me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you going to do? Everybody will be all right.
Yeah.
You did get by Mopar Joe's, okay, and you still don't know how to drive. Did you make any passes with the car?
Mopar Joe put the super tune on it. Yeah, Mopar Joe probably swapped in a fucking dump block.
That thing that he had on the dyno.
Yeah,
Jamie, take this.
Yeah, take this, bring it back. Yeah.
Throw that greedy old barf mat the short end of the drag strip there. Let's see. Key Nelson, Tony, what color olives on your pizza? Green or black? Black. You can't have green olives on a pizza. it would be warm.
Mhm.
Let's see. Yes, but no lights or timing. How did the car run? I'm looking forward to this. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Honestly, there was no timing. Yeah. Okay.
So today I put I did just for you MS. I don't know what he means by that.
Okay.
So I put points on the car, or a fresh set of points, and what else did I do to it? I removed 8 feet of battery cable. I don't know. Things, right?
Oh, this was the kind of jank brush assembly.
The battery cable went from battery cable.
I know where it went because I was there when we had to redo that to the bumper.
No, I'm talking about the positive battery cable.
Okay.
Right, so the positive battery cable went from the starter all the way up to the top of the firewall, down the firewall, along the roll bar, then along the floor, then all the way to the back, then across the taillight panel, and then this way, and then this way, and then this way up to the battery. It's what happens when you say, "Hey, wire this thing up real quick."
Real quick.
Yeah. So I made a more direct line from the starter along the frame rail and up to the battery. And
It's just direct like that?
yeah, it's a battery cable. Last I checked. I could never figure out why, even with a fresh battery, it would only crank for about 15 or 20 seconds before it slowed way down. So yeah,
It was changing the weather in Iowa. Yeah.
I pulled 8 feet of battery cable out of it, and it seems to crank over much easier now.
8 feet of resistance.
Please.
Okay.
Let's see.
I hope it's just fine.
Tony, any backstory on the Dodge GTX from Argentina? Ask Mexican Spec about that. He's a South American guy. Chrysler did some crazy things all over the world that like they're crazy to us, but they're normal to people where they came from, like the Australian, the Hemi 6, and then down in South America they had all kinds of packages and shit like that we didn't get here in this country.
Yeah, there's all kinds of cars all over the world,
right,
that have familiar badges, but you have no idea what they are because that's just different.
You know, the thing about the Mopar movement, right, is that it's very U.S. centric, and it shouldn't be, because it was a global thing. You know, both these cars all over the world, but like it's very U.S. centric. So honestly, I know nothing about those South American cars. You know, isn't that the same thing? Mexican Spec. Once you get south of the border, didn't you get the same cars? Rocco says Argentina is his nuclear backup plan for shit hit the fan. Argentina. Okay.
I live with all the retired Germans down there. There's a badass player out over in the Netherlands or Germany. I'm sure there is.
Mexican Spec is saying too many blonde people there. He's talking about Argentina. It's where the Nazis went.
Yeah. The Nazis got their UFO and went to Argentina right after the war.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
A Mexican Spec, no, Tony. There is a North America, Central America, and South America. They're far away from me.
Yeah, he's technically close to North America.
I thought that I'm forgive me for my ignorance, because I honestly just didn't know. I just assumed that Mexico would be South America, but it's not. Yeah, South America would be under the
Panama, Guatemala,
right. Okay.
Yeah.
You forgive me, man. I'm sorry. I don't mean any disrespect to your country. Let's see. There goes Tony burning another bridge. Let's go. Zero. As long as as soon as I see zero, I know it's
Everything's
okay.
okay now. Maybe that was the problem. He wasn't here for the first 4 tries.
Zero and foobar are like the spiritual foundation. You know, like the energy is good now. Okay.
Yeah.
I can mellow out. Have lighter will burn. Oh, bro, I got lighter. I got gasoline. I got starting fluid. I got, you name it, man. Got some lamp oil. Any way I got to burn a bridge, I have the method to burn it.
I was here being quiet. Okay.
Rocco saying zero is still plugging merch during the silent time. My guys are awesome.
Oh, I thought of a great T-shirt. Ask me about my Big Richard.
That is a great T-shirt. I have an idea for. Actually, I have Kathy kind of working on a T-shirt.
Oh, you do?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
You know what it says?
Probably, but go ahead.
Everybody wants to be a badass until it's time to do badass things.
It's true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think we'll sell a bunch of those. Speed Demon. Brazil has Mopars. Argentina has Mopars. Yes, Colombia has Mopars. All right.
I like the Colombian girl.
Let's see. Michael McCart, you rock, Tony. Thank you, man. I've been watching you for years now, and it's because of your conversational videos. You're interesting, sir. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you, sir. I greatly appreciate that, Michael. Zero will wear that one with pride. Zero, did you get your package yet? I know Kathy was putting together a care package for you. I honestly don't know what was in it. Oh, wait. Yes, there is one thing that was in there. I threw in there. Okay. There's a plaque. It's a wooden plaque. It says Tony's Place. Okay. So when I first moved here to Tennessee, there was a restaurant called Mike's Catfish Cafe. Okay. And they made me steak. They had steak on the menu, and they had made me steak. And so for like 3 months, every night I ate at Mike's Catfish Cafe, and I sat at the same table. Okay, and this is about 20 years ago. I sat at the same table and ordered the same steak, and they brought me this giant hunk of like undercooked beef. It was always delicious, right? But because I was sat at the same table, they made that my table. And they made that plaque. This is Tony's Place, and they hung it over the table. So that's what that was. Somebody made that for me, a restaurant that no longer exists. But it's a testament to my foodie, history.
Tech question. Look at that.
Oh, tech question. Oh, on a Wednesday night.
Who would have thought?
What a thought. Question about GM one-wire alternator. I've never used one. My voltage can swing from 8 to 14 volts. Does this sound like an internal failing?
Yes, because everything in the GM one wire is internal. So yes, you are 100% correct.
Yes, your internal regulator.
Unless you have like a positive cable that's hanging off somewhere. But if your connections are tight, it's inside the alternator.
Yeah, well, 8 volts is showing an extreme draw. Because even if the internal regulator goes bad, it shouldn't fall below battery voltage. So you should be charging about 14.5, 14.7 like that. Mm-hmm. But for it to swing all the way back to 8 volts, check your gauge. Check your gauge. I bet you the gauge is bad because there's nothing inside that alternator short of a dead short, okay, that can make it fall below battery voltage. So even if you've got all your lights on, let's just say the battery's charged, okay, and you have all your lights on and the wipers and the defogger and everything else, you should still see 11.5 or so volts showing. So I would suspect that it's your gauge or something along those lines. It's bad. Is that good troubleshooting?
Yes.
You're like my confirmation bored.
Well, I shoot up nonsense and you correct me, and I'm like, oh yeah, that makes no sense. So yeah.
Let's see. Charlton Zimmerman, why you say technology sucks below in description? Because we had to start this live stream 4 times.
Yes.
4 times. Yeah, it took us a half hour to get sound. So it was, but we got it. And now we'll figure out what we want wrong later. Let's see. Okay, they're talking about the alternator.
Yeah.
Tony, check your mail. I don't even have the password to the mail.
It's
Kathy. Kathy does all of that. And a couple of people have sent stuff regarding that last video that we did. We're going to wait until we have 3 or 4 of them that are like rock solid, and we'll put together a compilation. You don't have email. We do. I just don't go to it. Kathy does that. She handles all of that stuff. You have to write him. Actually, I mean, just why do you think we do these lives? So if you guys have something you want to say to me, here, you got it. I'm watching. I'm paying attention.
Debbie Teal, is there benefit to zero decking to my 318, or am I risking scraping the block? There's a problem. Scrapping the block. There's a problem.
It depends on what piston you're using. I would not take 90,000 off the deck. So if you got like if you got a piston, a stock piston, it's like 90,000, and sometimes even more than that. Down the hole, no, I would not deck it 90,000. I would not go that far. What you have to remember is that the thickness of the deck is the integrity of the deck. So the thinner you make the deck, the more likely it is to distort and push out a head gasket. And then you get into all sorts of things where now you've got to change push rod length, and I would not go that far. Zero decking is fine if you got a piston that's like within, let's say, 10,000ths of the deck, and you're looking for a quench motor, so you only want the thickness of the head gasket between the quench pad in the head and the piston, and you got to take, let's say, 10, 15, maybe even 20,000ths off of it. Yeah, you could do that, but don't attempt to zero deck it to meet the 90,000th on the whole piston that it's born with.
Get mining pistons.
Yes, and the same thing goes for overboring. People are like, "Oh, I'll just bore it over. The cylinder wall thickness is fine."
Why?
Every time you bore an engine, you're weakening the deck, whether you realize it or not, because the cylinders are able to distort that much more, and they're able to stretch. Cast iron is like rubber. Honestly, it has a lot of the same characteristics as rubber. You don't feel it because to your skin it's really hard, but it acts like rubber. It expands, it contracts, it vibrates, it stretches, it moves. And when you overbore an engine, you're actually weakening the integrity of the deck. Did I explain that right?
Yes.
My confirmation? Yeah.
He's my one why you're asking me, but okay, sure. Yeah, but yes.
I look at him and say, "Did I say that right?" He says, "You're full of shit.
Fuck no, yeah.
You're just making this stuff up as you go along."
Yeah.
How about Mazda? It's called malleable metal. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Steve Mature, the top ring should damn near come out of the block when at TDC. No. The closer the piston is to the top, the closer the ring is to the top of the deck there, the hotter it runs. You want to have the ring a respectable distance down the hole. If you have to run a ring, if you run a piston or a ring that gets way up to the top, you add some extra gap to it. Because remember now, the deck part, right? The deck part of the cylinder runs hotter that whole section is hotter than the lower part that actually has coolant going through it. The deck is always exposed to combustion. So
think of the space between top of the piston and the first ring is a heat sink.
yeah, exactly.
And if you're gonna push the limits of that heat sink, you're gonna break shit.
Porn 2 prizes. I love Tony, but I'm taking bets on how long Art will last. Listen, I got a long line of these people behind me, you know. I mean, it just happens. It just happens.
I have no feelings, so.
He has no feelings. Yeah.
I was in automotive retail my entire life. You could not phase me for anything.
Are the daddy's money guys still around? I have no idea. They disappeared. They ran off on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Mopar Al ran off on his own. It's a big club. It's a big club. Let's see. And Zero just put up a link to Dr. Art's channel.
Thank you, Zero.
Yes, so go over there, Dr. Art's Hot Rod Rehab. And remember, he does a live every Monday night at 7 o'clock Central Time.
And the last few lives were, I mean, they were ripping. I had people sending me cars and stuff, and people were super chatting me. It was fantastic. Nobody bought any merch.
Any merch?
No,
because you don't have good merch, like what I was just talking about.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be a badass, so it's time to do badass things. Tony being Tony. Listen, I am what I am, and I don't make excuses for anybody, and I don't compromise for anybody. It's just that simple. It's I am what I am. Take me as I am, or move on. I mean, I can't.
It's Tony's.
And I don't say that as an elitist. I promote everybody. I try to promote my philosophy all through life is a rising tide raises all boats. So I always try to promote people around me. I always try to build them up, and it just doesn't always work out.
Because there isn't anyone in the chat that's had every friend that they've ever met in their life.
Well,
No, they come and go, just like money.
Listen, I love Kiwi. I really do, and he knows that, right? And I mean, in a completely non-homo way, right? I love Kiwi. We see things differently. We handle things differently. This was a bad situation, right? It was bad in like a miscommunication, and we handle our dealings differently. As I said to Dr. Art before we came on here, what I would have done if I was in Kiwi's shoes, and it would have ended this whole thing, right? It wouldn't have been any problems at all. What I would have done if I was in his shoes was, as soon as the owner of the car, who was very unreasonable and very arrogant and wanted me to take the video down without ever actually seeing the video, just so that you know that, right? And I have the texts from him to show this. As soon as I was confronted with an irate, irrational owner, I would have told him the tow truck is on its way. The rollback is on its way. Do you want me to drop it at your house or at Street Side Classics? And that would have been the end of it. That would have been the end of it. And there never would have been any problem. There never would have been any fallout. But it didn't work out that way. So it is what it is, and I accept it for what it is, and we just move forward.
And Mopar Man 67, he's the guy that sent me the C-body picture. So, and he thinks you don't like C-body.
Yeah, where would you get there? I don't like C-bodies.
It was a cool car. I'll put it up Monday night on mine. Now, I'm going to ask this.
Yes.
I had this thought.
Yes.
The guy that got all his money back,
yes,
from a used car he bought because he had no brains, he didn't send you like a edible arrangement or anything like that?
Nothing. I actually tried to call him just to get his side of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he wouldn't return it. He wouldn't even answer the call. Nothing. So.
Okay. Next car you buy, pal, You're on your own. See how far you get.
I feel I did the right thing. And it's that simple. I feel I did the right thing. Now, as far as the timing of the video goes, now, Dr. Art and I stood off to the side while Kiwi talked to the owner on the phone. When Kiwi got off the phone with the owner, he says, let's shoot the video. So I went out to the car and I got the camera. I didn't have the camera at the time. I went out to the car, I got the camera, I walked in and started shooting. And that's exactly how it went. Now, in my mind, that's telling me, yes, if we're going to shoot a video, post the video. Why would we shoot a video tentative as to whether or not it may or may not go up, or it may have a different outcome than we're going to show in the video? So automatically, in my mind, it's like, yes, he says shoot the video, let's shoot the video. Not wait. If he had said no, let's not shoot the video, I would have been okay, fine, because I wanted to shoot a whole different video. We weren't even going to do that car. We were doing something else.
We were doing my Buick video.
Right. I walked in and these guys were just pouring over this car, and I was like, this is amazing. Let's shoot a video on this. And then Kiwi got on the phone with the guy, and when he hung up on the phone with the guy, he came and he said, let's shoot the video. I went out to the car, I put the camera together, I walked inside, we shot the video, and then we went and worked on the Buick. And then when we were done working on the Buick, I said to Kiwi, I says, hey, I gotta go home and get this to Kathy. We gotta get, and that's it, done, right? Because that's the routine. Every single time that I've ever shot a video with Kiwis, I took the thing and brought it to Kathy, and she edited it and put it up. And I'm usually out doing something else. I get a notification on my phone. Uncle Tony's Garage just posted a video. That's my entire attachment to this thing. So as far as I was concerned, it was just routine. The consent to film it was the consent to publish it. And it was afterwards, 3-4 hours afterwards, after the video had been seen by 28,000 people, I believe it was, I started getting messages to take the video down from the owner, from Street Side, guy from Street Side. I start getting messages. What do you want me to do? It's the cat's out of the friggin' bag. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Love me, hate me, I don't fucking care. Move on. Let's see. Ninja Mouse. Hi, Tony. Is a roller cam break-in the same for a flat topic? Going through a roller cam like 44.
No.
There is no break-in on a roller.
Start up drive.
You just send it. Just send it. Let's see. Terminus Truman, UTC. You have to make more videos about engines, disassembly, and analyzing. I have, my brother. I've done so many of them, and I hate to repeat content over and over and over again. There's lots of, just search the thing that you're looking for on my channel. We've got over 1,000 videos, so you're going to find what you're looking for. And if you have a specific question, that's why we do these lives. Respelly Garage, is a video gone? No, it is not, and it's not going anywhere. You take one. Put on the glasses.
Put on the glasses so you can see this. All right. What do you think about a rear engine slide 6 and a 71 Duster? Good luck.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I have a 1966 Dodge Coronet with a 318 poly. After about 5 to 10 minutes of driving, I have little oil pressure when idling. How do I safely improve the oil pressure?
Odds are the engine is just worn. The engine is just worn.
Safely put some new bearings in it.
Yeah. Low oil pressure. It's a solid lifter motor, so you don't have to worry about lift attack. Honestly, I know people are going to disagree with me, okay? But listen, real life is real life. If you show anything on the gauge at all, hot, idle, in gear, excuse me, with that engine, you're fine. You're fine. Just drive it and don't worry about it.
Probably it's not a 10,000 RPM engine. It's just go, just drive.
Maybe throw a little thicker oil in there. I mean, I don't know what you've already got, but I wouldn't worry about it, honestly.
From a 380 with no oil pressure for probably 6 months.
They don't, it's really, some engines just don't need oil pressure.
Yeah.
At idle. Once things are running. So you guys, you got to understand the purpose of oil pressure. Okay. And I did a video about this. I did a whole video about this. Why oil pressure? Why do we need oil pressure? And why does it have to go up with RPM? There's only one reason you need oil pressure: centrifugal force. Okay, because as the engine is running, as the rods are, as the crank is spinning and the rods are doing their thing in a circle like this, the higher you spin the engine, the more the centrifugal force is trying to throw the rod out. So the weight of the rod is being multiplied by RPM. So in order to overcome that extra weight of the rod as the engine is running, you need a higher pressure. You need more of an oil film. The oil film can't be pushed out of the way. That's the purpose of pressure. The purpose of pressure is to keep the oil film from being squished out of the way. That's the only reason. So low oil pressure at idle, unless you're trying to support hydraulic lifters, which need about 6 or 7 psi to operate. If it's a flat tapping engine, don't worry, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Just make sure that as the RPM comes up, the oil pressure comes up with it.
Zero, think you're putting up the channel. Zero oil pressure. Model A runs on zero oil pressure. Yeah, low oil pressure. Just drive it.
Yes, a lot of people are worried about oil pressure. Don't realize that a lot of engines didn't even have oil pumps. They were oiled by splash. The Chevy, the original Stowbolt was an oil by splash engine, no oil pump. So yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
I don't even have in the Ranger that turbo, fire breathing thing. No oil pressure gauge. I don't care. It's running. Yes, it has oil pressure. It'll let me know when it doesn't have any anymore. It doesn't do any good to worry about what the needle says. It's going to run or it's not.
Riley, what are your thoughts on putting zinc additive in an oil that already has high zinc? In my opinion, too much zinc is bad. It's not enough. I don't really have an opinion about that. Somebody did put a video up. I think it was the Oil Geek.
Yeah, about too much zinc.
About too much zinc, and I don't really have an opinion on that. I don't know. I would say that person probably knows a lot more about oil and zinc than I do, because this is what he does. So I'll go with that. But I don't know how much is. I use a high zinc oil for break-in. I don't go crazy, or I use regular oil with a zinc additive for break-in. I don't go nuts with it. So
I use diesel. It's got all the good vitamins and everything in there. And
well, the diesel oil has just a little bit of zinc in it. So yeah, but for a break-in period, for camshaft break-in, you need a little bit extra.
I loop the cap on the crown and the lifters and fire it up and never had a problem. Oh, it had zinc.
Let's see. End of time, Tony, is the stock oil pan set up good enough on a Fox body roller 302? Yeah, it's fine because they run the pickup to the back part of the sump almost. So it's the earlier ones that don't have a back part of the sump. The Fords that the oil pump the pickup just goes straight down and to the sump. Those are a problem. And on that Mustang, so it occurred to me. Let's go back to that Mustang for a minute. Okay. Right? I realized why only afterwards, right? I was laying awake the other night, and I'm just thinking about that car, right?
Yeah.
And then it occurred to me the reason why they had to limit the throttle to only about 20%.
It would suck all the oil.
It would suck all the oil out.
Because the engine was sitting like this.
Because the engine's sitting like this, and all the oil would go to the back.
Yeah, it would blow out the rear end. Crankcase pressure. Oh, they were smart.
They were smart in their stupidity. Let's see. Joe King, Tony, would more oil pressure help the Gen 3 Hemi oiling issue? No, it would not. You could have a quadrillion, you could have the most oil pressure. You have all of the oil pressure that's ever been produced on Earth in that engine, right? Trillions and trillions of metric tons of oil pressure, and it would not affect the splash up to the top of where that cam is. It has nothing to do with it. Pressure has nothing to do with it. Well, I'm lying. If you applied that much pressure, everything would explode, and it would be lubricated by the.
But what I always thought with those, why doesn't somebody come up with a kit that like a piston sprayer but on the cam?
That's why I suggested that in a video.
Yeah, just a piston. It's all you would need.
Actually, it would be an easy setup because if you take the intake manifold off and you look at the top of the block has a lump for the cam. And all you would have to do is run a series of sprayers. You don't have to go inside the engine. You can do it externally.
Oh, okay.
You can just run a spray bar and just like hit 4 sections of it, and it would drench the top of the cam.
No more problem.
No problem. Let's see. Let's just stare at the words.
Stare at the words until somebody comes up with intelligence. I'm sure you have done that, but
can you do a video on different plug wire construction? I believe I did, like early on. It's often overlooked detail. Yeah, carbon core and solid core and spiral and
short spiral around for RF.
Yeah. Why don't you do that, man? You're like Mr. Fucking Technology. You should do that video. Break down the different types of plug wires.
Yeah, and why?
Yeah.
Because unlike if you have like the Phytex or the top computer, carburetor replacement ones, if you run a solid core wire, it too much RF and it fries those things out and stuff like that. So, all right, I'll put that on the list.
Clayton Eccles says the official Steve Manti GoFundMe has raised to $279,605 so far. Congratulations, automotive community, for standing up for Steve. That's awesome. Let's see.
Copper cord have enough static noise to screw up a lean burn system.
Static no, I don't think static noise would affect the lean burn.
Yeah.
Seventh Handcap, thank you for the super chat. I heard you mention sawdust on a transmission. Yeah, I've only heard this once before in my life. What was that? I shoot the solar car back in the day. They did that with manual transmissions.
Rear ends, yeah.
Yeah, in rear ends. When the manual transmission, like especially those old 3-speeds, and non-synchro 3-speeds, this is like back in the 50s and the early 60s. The non-synchro 3-speeds, as they would age, would just go as you're driving down the road, and they would throw sawdust in with the oil. It would mix sawdust in with the gear lube, and that would quiet it all down. The sawdust would take up the slack until it got pummeled into powder.
I had the best trick on a Ford because I had all the Broncos and stuff like that. The power steering pumps always make noise.
Why is that? That's like a Ford trademark.
But you take some Downy fabric softener,
okay,
like a quarter of a capful, dump it in, close the cap, drive around the block, no noise forever. It's the quietest thing. Yes.
How do you know what's happening when you pour that?
I don't know. It's coating the bearing or something. I don't know what it's doing.
Because see, that's a Ford trademark that goes back to the 1950s.
Yeah, they're always loud. Yeah, that's how I made so much money flipping those Ford trucks, because people would come and they go, "Oh my God, how'd you get it so quiet?" I mean, like
Downy fabric softener.
Downy fabric.
There you go, guys. You got a noisy Ford power steering pump. Wait, we figure a shot glass full.
Yeah, that's all you need. Don't overdo it. And whether it's hydroscopic, I don't know what the deal is with it, but it'll quiet it down, and you'll amaze your friends and your in-laws. Be like, how is this noisy Ford so quiet? And you just smile at them.
How did you guys meet? It was a Craigslist ad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird, you know. And then we found out we had cars in common. People are going to believe that.
Yeah, that's okay. Let
It's okay. Fred Yelch, what is your guess on Wiki not making torque at Nick's? I don't know. I don't watch his channel. I don't know. I have no idea. Mozzarella, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Push it in there. It'll work. Downey has wax in it, Ree Riley is saying.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
KJ Kylie saying walnut shells last longer. Oh, you guys know how to doctor up all the shit.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by shysters. That's great.
It's not because the power steering pump actually is quiet and works better. You know, it's your better driving experience.
Alvy Teal, how's your Slant 6 build coming over? It's on hold until the propane thing is together. Then the Slant comes after.
They're stuck in
Brad
smack.
Yelich, Tony doesn't like Nick. No, Tony definitely does not like Nick. Tony knows Nick from what doesn't happen on camera. Okay? Nice.
Yeah. I don't know about the sugar-free part, you know.
Let's see. Ford takes Type F transmission and power steering pump. But they make noise anyway. This pumps all.
Yeah. Turn the wheel. Little Downy.
But I do not know why Ford's, that's like a Ford trademark that goes back a half a century. You would think with all the different designs and all the different. So if you have a 65 Galaxy or an 89 Taurus or a 2012 F-150, they all make. I don't understand that.
I don't know if it's the gear that they put in there or what it is, but it works.
UCD carpet, gents, thoughts on they do work. Yeah. They do work. What the cool can does is it chills the gasoline, right? So you'll get more volume of fuel through a given opening. Zero says he only knows this due to salt. I don't know what Zero knows. Nobody knows what Zero knows.
No, not even his mom.
No. Let's see.
The way to quiet down a Ford power steering pump is using banana oil. Okay, same.
Let's see. Steve Matroid, power steering noise like that is foamed up fluid. Yes, I know. I know it makes the noise, but why only Fords? Why do only Fords foam their power steering fluid? And always, like consistently through history.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like I said,
it could be a power steering box. It could be a rack. It could be a Ford pump, a Sagmo pump. It could be it doesn't matter what pump they use. They all make the same noise. Let's see. Honda does too. Okay, yeah, you're right, Tim. Some Hondas did make that noise, yes. Z28, the Ford power steering noise is the high other noises. Alan Schuldroth, usually it's air in the system. No, not with these things. You can drive them for years and they sound like that.
Yeah, the fluid does aerate, but it's not like air bubbles, So
Stray bullet, the noise is how you know that it's working real good.
yeah, and it's full. If it's once it's
Well,
empty of stuff, it locks up and smokes the belt.
Well, it gets louder. All it does is get louder
Yeah.
when they need power steering fluid.
Feed me Seymour. Ford invented the smoke actuated on tub was discreetly.
You can't whisper. You gotta.
Yeah, I'm reading it to myself.
Oh. Brad Yelch. Ford invented the small block Chevy. Duntov was secretly hired by Ford while he worked at Chev, installed Ford plans for the new small block. Yeah, no. Let's see. Well, these guys really love the Ford power steering. South Farmington, Dr. Art, what did you do for a living prior to YouTube? You seem like a super knowledgeable man. Keep it up, both of you. Yes,
Everything.
He did everything. Why are you looking at me?
Yeah, I've done everything from cutting lawns to working on jet aircraft to selling hundreds and hundreds of thousands of used cars, name it, and this and that, and electronics, and.
He's had a full life.
Yes, I've done everything that a guy would want to do. I've done. So that's, everybody said, oh, what bucket list when I'm old? Fuck that. I did it all by the time I was 35.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, been everywhere, drove any kind of thing, flew planes, helicopters, blah, blah, anything that you want to do. Hey, this is cool as a guy. You want to have a safe full of guns? Okay, you want to fly remote control airplanes? You want to fucking own a boat, a jet ski, a 4x4, drive through fire in the woods? It's all been done.
Yeah.
So
that's how you get guys like us. It's not that we're special, that, they're so brilliant. No, it's just that we've done so many different things and you learn stuff. Things, and it's funny too, because you go through life, you will learn things, working with, planes or whatever it happens to be that will apply to cars. You'll learn things working on cars that will apply to woodworking. I mean, it's just there's an overlap of knowledge. Like it's like a common. What's a word I'm looking for?
There's a common denominator to everything mechanical.
Yes.
And everything mechanical and electrical and humanoid and plants, everything works off of pressure.
Yes.
And it's you have to, high pressure wants to go to low pressure. Electricity is a little weird, but that's how the wind blows and you make clouds and it snows and planes go through the air and cars go down the road and wheels turn and
pressure differential.
Yes,
everything is everything. Pressure differential. 72Z28 used to sell Kirby vacuums. You're old, bro.
Yeah. Did you enjoy proctology? Yes, I did. Did you ever run a nitromethane powered lean burn setup? No, he did.
No, I've never ran lean burn.
Nitromethane.
Played in a band? No, but I booked bands. I had a booking agency for like almost 2 years. TFG, right? UTG, TFG, but it had a whole different meaning. I'm not going to say what the meaning was there, but yes, we did punk and metal shows all in the Nashville area for a couple of years. I was never in a band myself. I don't have a musical bone in my body.
I'm a white man with no rhythm and tongue.
Yes.
So I have no chance to play guitar. I have owned several and beautiful ones, but I still can't. It's like, can't play them.
We also used to do crash and burn karaoke, which was very unique. It was fun. Tony is a magician. No, I'm Italian. Tony, did you ever run with the Nitro bike crowd? I built a Pro Fuel Sportster for myself. I did a couple of chirpies with it in my driveway here in Tennessee, and then I just realized I just wasn't into it that much, and I got rid of it.
You still have the starter motor.
Well, I'll give you the starter motor for it.
It's sitting on the shelf, yeah.
Jeremy K, which punk bands? I probably know half the guys you booked. They're all in the local bands, all local stuff. You probably wouldn't know any of them. God help me if I can remember any of them. This is about a dozen years ago.
Okay, tech question actually. From Blaze. I'm setting up a fuel system in a 1967 Mustang, and I'm running a return line on a carb setup. Can you run the return line to the drain plug of the gas tank? Can you use rubber fuel line? Okay, no, you don't have to run it to the drain because you're just going to have leaks. What you're going to do is you're going to go type in 1967 EFI conversion sending unit, and that's going to have a feed and a return in it, and you just take the one out and put the one in. It's like $25.
Okay.
And that's like I have in the Falcon with the fuel injection. That's the same sending unit, and it comes with a new sock sits in the bottom of the tank, and it returns it right, the fuel right in the tank, and it's clean.
Yeah, that's a nice bolt-in thing. Some cars will have a capped off extra hole at the sending end. It depends on the car.
Yeah, the 67 Mustang doesn't.
It's
an actual, undo the lock ring, take the one out, get a new O-ring, put your lock, lube it up, put your lock ring in, and you'll have a return in there.
There you go. Cool.
And it's the cleanest setup.
And don't run rubber hose all the way the length of the car.
No.
That's just a bad idea. Quarter inch aluminum or steel tubing is all you need.
Or some kind of braiding.
Yeah.
But not regular rubber fuel.
No. Don't use rubber fuel line.
No.
Riley, UT is propane equivalent to like 100 octane gasoline. Actually higher, but I'm learning about this stuff. I don't know enough about it to speak of any sort of. I don't know, but we'll find out. Let's see. Klein Lawn Care and Snow Plowing. Okay, Tony, please amplify to support Steve Manianti's. I don't have to amplify anything, Steve. The latest report now is $275,000. The community has really stepped up. They've really got his back. I'm just amazed at that. You guys are absolutely awesome. Obviously, if you still want to contribute to Steve, go right ahead. But he doesn't really need the boost anymore. It's gotten around, and he's being taken care of. Very good. Who's too sensitive? I'm not sensitive. Let's see.
Ellen, I used 1/2-inch rubber hose in a return line and connected it, spliced up into my filler neck tube. So far, after 3 years, working perfect.
Alan, lots of things will work. It doesn't mean that it's a good idea. You see what I'm saying? It's like, yes, tons of things would work, but to run like 15 feet of rubber hose along the bottom of the car, it's just not a good idea. That's just use a piece of tubing, it's hard tubing, and run it to the back of the car. Yes, and lean fucking burn says NHR says no more than 12 inches of rubber line total if the car was to meet tech. I don't think that includes any type of return. I think that's the pressure side that they're measuring, that they're looking at. But I could be wrong about that. And they do make exceptions, like for instance, if you've got like a Hillborn fuel injection setup that uses the rubber hoses from the meter and block to the nozzles, they don't count those. So it's a little flexible. But the point is they want to see as little rubber as possible, or as practical. 280,000 raised. So Steve Maniati's picked up another like $5,000. since this live started. God bless you guys. Let's see. 72Z28 puts stainless lines in everything he builds. Okay.
That's nice. Yeah.
Let's see. Albie Teal, thank you for the super chat. Termonus Truman, I run a carb. It has no return. It's like having a condom. But a return system is superior to just a deadheaded, you know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal. A return system is a good idea. It keeps the fuel moving. You know, it keeps the fuel moving. It prevents vapor lock or just separation in there, like pockets.
The fuel pumps, because every time, if you think of it, if you're deadheaded, that fuel has to at one time come to a hard stop,
Right.
and then either turn or go in or stuff like that. But every time that's friction and that's heat.
So just have it always moving. It's a better system. A return regulated system is better than
If you just have a standard V8 with a mechanical pump and a carburetor, you don't need it. But anything,
well, you could do that too.
You
But
could.
that's the whole point on an orifice or a fuel filter with the third nipple.
yeah, to return that.
Right. Robbie Autry wears Kiwi tonight. Kiwi's feeling sensitive tonight. And Zero put up a link to Dr. Art's channel, the one and only Dr. Art. And Dr. Art's lovely wife also has a channel.
Yeah. Lucky Lindy's over 50. You can go there and subscribe to her also.
See, look at this. It's a family thing.
And really, you really want to make her day. You could, because she's like a dozen away from 500, her first little baby step YouTube goal. So 12 people out of 360 could go to Lucky Lindy's over 50.
That would be nice.
That would be fantastic. We would forever be grateful, and we may make cookies for you.
He'll send cookies to everybody.
Yeah.
Jeff Hutchins is saying 1-inch white PVC for fuel line, high flow.
You're brave, sir.
Go easy on that, Jeff. Let's see. Barracuda, the guy who developed the V2 flying bomb, invented the two-stroke expansion chamber. That's true. That's true.
It's kind of the same principle.
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but yes, that's true. Hinsosi, Tony, do you still watch Bad Shed sometimes? It's like a guilty pleasure. Occasionally, I can only watch a few minutes of it, but yes, occasionally I do. Hot Rod Monza, do you like Robert De Niro? He's a twat.
There you go. That's the final answer. Yeah.
He has fantastic acting talents. The guy's really amazing at what he does at his job, at his craft. He's amazing.
But you're an actor. Shut up. Nobody cares.
Right. And then just shut up. Just shut up.
Take your money, shut up, and go home.
Yeah. Michael Sassinos. Well, going from a 2-barrel carb to a 4-barrel, lower the RPM of max volumetric efficiency. Lower the RPM of maximum. Wouldn't it raise the RPM of maximum volumetric efficiency?
Yeah, because usually a 4-barrel intake has more area.
Yeah, it would raise the RPM, not lower it. from maximum, because maximum volumetric efficiency is going to come with the highest vacuum. Or, right?
Yeah.
The highest vacuum at wide open throttle.
Right. And if you have more area.
Yeah, so more area would raise the RPM that you would find that if nothing else changes in the equation. Robbie Autry, does retarding or advancing the timing make the engine run hotter? Retarding the timing makes it run hotter. Let's see. Adjustable, Tony. South Farmington. I grew up 20 minutes from Bad Chad. He's a special character. He basically takes the size Hot Wheels, makes life-size Hot Wheels that don't run. Nice guy, nice enough guy though. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything bad about the guy.
Unfortunate.
I mean, you can't have to.
That's just the way you're born,
Yeah.
So
He has a unique way of looking at things. His eye is a little odd. It's a little odd, yeah.
Doctor, I watched your vid on the timing curve remapping on Project Improbable. I was very impressed that it could be done in a factory comp. Thanks. Well, sure. You're welcome. Actually, I got a lot of comments from people, and I got a lot of people that freaking sent me their computers to have the change done. So, and it, so far, it works for everybody. A couple where guys wanted just a little bit more for towing or a little bit more for mileage, so you tweak it a little bit. But there is all that room in most ECMs from the factory because, the OEMs need to make NOx level to meet EPA and all that kind of crap. But
Tony, did you know any guys named Vinny from back then? My middle name is Vinny. Yes, I knew many Vinnies. Robbie Autry, did you fire up Big Richard, Dr. Art?
no, not yet. Hopefully, give me a week. Because you have to remember, with that truck, it came with nothing. It came with no exhaust, no transmission lines, no kickdown, no fill tube. No exhaust, no fuel system of working any kind, no plumbing for the radiator, heater hoses, so it's all has to be, and you have to wait for this fitting to come in before you can do this, and so it's soon. And we'll show it. Maybe we'll do a live when we fire it up.
Rocco. Jesus. Tony, any chance we'll see a Thursday Live with Cliff Gromer? I would have to consult probably with MIT to calculate the odds of that actually happening. Chair failure.
7 feet tall.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
You were towering over me.
I know. I was like,
I was
like, we just switched chairs a bit. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. I was like, what's happening?
Yeah. So yeah, the odds of that happening are like really astronomically bad. So don't be waiting for that.
We do it live with Uncle Dad when he's in town.
I would love to. I think we will. We'll probably do it on both of our channels. But Rocco, needless to say, I am not his favorite person, and he is not my favorite person. Let's see. Brad Ulrich, you preached the second but only once did you act. Are you talking about when I shot the speakers at the old shop? I shot the radio. Is that what you're talking about? Because I didn't video that.
Yeah, they don't really like you shooting live on inanimate objects on TV.
Let's see. Ross Peter Derelicts. Tommy Ivo 4-engine dragster, twin engine, terrible. It was a terrifying tornado. At what point does it turn into diminishing returns of power versus weight? Right there. You just named two examples.
Yeah.
Seth Doss. I did not realize Grandpa's AMX shares front dual piston brake calipers with the 69 Charger and GTX. Yes. Are those a pain in the butt to bleed off? No, they're not.
Don't put them on the wrong sides. They're good.
Mark Swab, sorry I'm late, but I see here you have audio now. Yes, we fixed it. Let's see. Wyatt Dixon. What can I time my 305 Chevy at for optimum mile per gallon? Oh. Vacuum advance is important if you're looking for optimum mile per gallon. So I would say this, right? I would say this. You want to run the car out. Now, we're not talking about power timing for detonation. We're talking about power timing for fuel mileage, which is assuming that you're not going to be slamming this thing around, but you're looking to maximize it, right? So what I would do is, with the vacuum advance connected, I would keep advancing the timing 2 degrees at a time until at highway speed on a cruise, it starts to misfire, right? So in other words, like you'll not under load, it has to be under a cruise. So like very light throttle, you're just maintaining 50 or 60 miles an hour. You want to hear it go, you want to hear it misfire. You want to hear it like buck and miss, okay? And at that point, start backing it off 2 degrees at a time until the bucking and missing goes away. And that's going to be your optimum timing for fuel mileage. Now, it may detonate, right? So you're not going to get detonation at light cruise. But let's say under hard throttle, up a hill, hot temperatures, you may get, spark knock at that point. But you didn't ask me about that. You asked me about maximum timing for mile per gallon. And that's how I would go about doing that. And if you guys you've ever heard of adjustable vacuum advances, like some of the high performance Mopar cars had, a lot of cars had adjustable vacuum advance. That was the whole purpose of the adjustable vacuum advance, so that you could advance it until you got that misfire at load, and then limit it from there. Bill McHeiska, thank you for the super chat, my brother. Why did multiple engine drag cars fail to perform, but in tractor pulling 6 or more engine tractors excel? Okay. In Top Gas, right, the last days of Top Gas, it was owned by the twin engine cars. All right. Now, here's what you have to know about when you couple engines together. If you take 2,000 horsepower engines and you couple them together, you don't get 2,000 horsepower. You get like 1,150 horsepower. There's serious diminishing returns to adding a second engine to it, right? There is an improvement, but it's only to a point, and it's not a direct one-to-one correlation. In nitro, they don't work at all because nitro engines are load sensitive. And so where one engine starts to take up the load on the other one goes fat and starts dropping cylinders, and then you have an uneven distribution of power through those two engines. And so some cylinders hammer themselves to death, and some cylinders just drown themselves. So there it doesn't work. So tractor pulls run on either gasoline or alcohol. Gasoline and alcohol engines, you will see a benefit, but you're not doubling the power when you double the engine. You're only adding about 15 or 20% more power when does that make any sense? I hope that made sense. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the 3 and 4 tractor engines are a lot for just show.
Yeah, a lot of it is for show. And ballast. And ballast. They're using those engines as ballast. Every one that they add on there with the blower and everything is another 700 pounds.
So instead of just tacking on 700 pounds of dead weight,
Throw an engine on there.
yeah.
Let the ballast pull its own weight.
People are all over the Pinto today for some reason.
You guys are talking about Pintos, going fast with Pintos. Did you know that in a wind tunnel, the Pinto is more aerodynamically sound backwards?
The hatchback, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bruce Nichols, are you ready for the big race? Dude, I've been doing push-ups and jumping jacks and all those things, you know, vitamins. I've been eating vitamins.
Yeah, pounding the vitamins.
Oh, please, it's ridiculous. Yeah, eating nothing but red meat, and yes, I'm prepared. I'm ready. Let's see. Mark Suave ran a super gas Pinto in the mid '90s with a small block Chevy. Zero horseshoe crab shape wins. It's just ugly. They're weird, right?
So driving a Pinto in reverse down the road is the way to save.
Yes.
Change, yeah.
Yes.
Provided the
that would be the way to do it.
Yeah. Just have your transmission builder build you a special gear ratio. Drive backwards.
Stable is saying the Model T is more aerodynamic going backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Well, Ron Ward has finally stepped into the house.
Oh,
what's happening, Ron?
Mr. Old Parts, yes.
Happy Wednesday, Ron.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Fred, you're not banned?
Yeah, how are you typing if you're banned?
Yeah. You're good, man. You're good. I try to save these things for Sundays, but I got to answer this one anyway.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Klein Law Care and Snow Plowing. How high do you think the price of silver will go? Tri-State Mopar Show and Swap Meet in Albion, PA is coming. How high do I think the price of silver will go? The price of silver will decouple from the spot price. The spot price will either disappear completely or become irrelevant, and it's going to happen relatively soon. When? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I just know math. Let's see. Did Jamie pop back in here?
I think he's trying. He's trying to get here, so he's.
I thought. Oh, there he is.
Okay.
He had to take a pizza break. Nice.
Let him back. Mosquitoes are trying to get me.
Make sure you stop at Graceland, bro. If you're coming, you're going to be coming right past it. What a disappointment that was. Did you remember the Graceland?
No, but I've had people go.
It's a bad neighborhood, bro.
Well, yeah, it's downtown Memphis. Yeah.
Yeah. But you got to see it anyway. You got to. It's just right off the path that you're on. You got to shoot some video of the car in front of Graceland on the ramp truck. How cool is that?
Yeah, and he's from the other side of the continent, so yeah, that's a must. Kind of a must see if he's going right past it. I would say yes. Stop.
South Farmington, Tony, you still glad you moved into a new shop? Seems like a better fit. It is. I haven't seen you get interrupted by a passing vehicle yet, like before. I get interrupted by some things, but I love this place. The energy here is great. The size is great for what I do. You know, if I was running a shop, no, this would not work. But as a place to do YouTube, this is perfect.
And it's hidden off the beaten path.
It's off the beaten path.
Yes, there's no address in the building. There's no.
Let's see.
Camera's a little blurry.
Brad is having some problems there. Zero's taking care of that.
Okay.
You hope Steve didn't get the jab. I don't think that he did. Angry D, how do you feel about Nash cars? Not really my thing. Let's see. Uh-oh, it's stalled.
Installed.
Uh-oh, maybe we need to go back.
Yeah, they're talking about Elvis.
Elvis. It was encephalitis. Yes, Oliver, it was encephalitis, but what was the cause? See, we don't know exactly what the cause was. Angry D, tell someone to focus the camera. There's nobody there. It's just a camera sitting on a tripod.
We can see it.
Yeah, it seems okay. Do you guys have a secret handshake to get into your new shop? It's a call. It's sort of like a bird call, but it's cross between like a bird and squirrel.
Squirrel bird.
Yeah, but I can't tell you what it is.
And it wouldn't translate over. The audio would not translate over. It has to be heard in person with a
exactly
special dog ear amplifier.
There is a fail-safe interpretive dance in case somebody deaf comes, but yeah. Michael Simius Sassinas again. Can you explain why a 4-bell raises the RPM of max volumetric efficiency? With more air available, the VE would be achieved sooner. Yes, but if I'm not mistaken, now VE is going to come with the highest vacuum through the carburetor. Am I wrong about that? So by increasing the size of the carburetor and increasing the hole that the engine's got to breathe through, it takes a higher RPM to achieve the same vacuum.
Right up your alley there. Uncle Tony got a 2000 Grand Cherokee with cracked skirts and a piston. How long do you think it's going to run? Forever.
Another 90,000 miles. I drove mine for almost 90,000 miles like that.
Mr. TL, I have a set of 302 heads, but I bought a set of rail roller rockers for them, so I want to use them, but would be the benefit from just getting Magnum heads.
What was that now? Oh, I have a set of 302 heads. Sort of rail roller rockers for them. So I want to use them, but would benefit. Yeah, the Magnum head is much better.
Yeah.
The Magnum head is definitely better. For numerous reasons. I mean, valve size is the least of them.
The roller rocker stuff doesn't really do a whole lot, really, over a stamp rocker, unless you got big lift or something like that. But just use the Magnum heads the way they came, and it'll be much better.
Good night, 72Z28.
Yeah. Thanks for playing.
Josh Homan hit the like button. He have hit the like button. Thank you for everybody who's hit the like button. It's good. It helps get us out there. Let's see. Project Q. Why don't you mess with 2.4 turbo motors like what's in the SRT4 Neons and PT Cruisers? You know, I've been tempted at times, but I just haven't. Yeah, I got nothing against them. I got nothing against them. I just have so many cars and bikes and Jeeps now, and I'm spread thin, man. I'm spread thin. And they're not really that popular. So it's like,
And they're cheap, so again, you have 6.
yeah, please. I'd have them
Yeah.
everywhere.
Mhm.
There are channels that work with them. So I would say people who know them and work with them, that's a better source than would be me.
Twin mufflers on my car, is it worth the horsepower increase instead of a single?
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends. For most cars, like regular, let's see, what's a real 50-inch deal. I can't gather what kind of car you have, what engine, what are you working with. So I mean, because there are certain combinations, especially like small cubic inch engines, that will make more power through a single exhaust. And Olive has got she's got it right here. It really depends on things like if you need the extra flow, how scavenging is affected, what's the weakest link for your power efficiency. So here's one thing you got to understand, right? From going from a single to a dual exhaust, the single exhaust is more efficient, right? Now, all else being equal, let's just say you got a 2-inch pipe and you have a 2-inch dual exhaust, and you say, I'm going to double up the exhaust. You want another 2-inch pipe to make a dual exhaust. You're not flowing the equivalent of a 4-inch pipe. You're flowing now the equivalent of like a 2 3/4-inch single, because there are parasitic losses through the exhaust system. Because as the exhaust is running down the pipe, the walls of the pipe are slowing it down. There's friction there. So just doubling the size doesn't, just going to dual exhaust doesn't necessarily mean it's better than a large diameter single. And then you got the second factor, and it's that heat. Heat is the lubricant of exhaust. The hotter the pipes, the less drag there is on the exhaust as it's trying to flow through. So a single exhaust will retain more of the heat from the exhaust, will retain more of the heat, and therefore be more of a lubricant to the exhaust than a dual exhaust, which is radiating heat from its surface at twice the rate that a single would. So there's a lot of factors to that. It's not just, and that's just it's not a cut and dry answer. Um,
Should I remove my exhaust entirely? Oh.
well, not necessarily. It depends on what. So there is a scavenging effect to the exhaust. So some exhaust is good. Too much exhaust is not good. There is a scavenging effect.
Right. With no exhaust, you're going to
You
suffocate yourself in the cab too.
That's the least of it.
Okay.
That's the least of it. We could suffer and pass out from fumes at the sacrifice of power.
Yeah, you'll pull to the side of the road and eventually you'll wake back up and keep going.
Been there, done. I got the t-shirt.
5.9 a Magnum swap using carb and distributor into an 87 Dakota. Use the 46RE or go with the 727. I would, if you can, I would always go with the overdrive.
How is it actually run that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, the 727 is going to be simpler. Yeah, but the other one's going to have the overdrive. And if you're going to do a swap.
But that other one is essentially a 727 with an overdrive.
Right.
So it's the same basic transmission, just with and without an overdrive. Shovelheads forever. It's a man with class and distinction. I'm an Ironhead guy, but it's, we're there, right? Tony, any experience with tuning SU carbs or advice on them? No, but I bet you have.
No.
No, neither of us
No
have any
idea.
advice for you. Okay, and Jamie is saying controlling the RE with no PCM is a problem. That's what I was.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, couldn't you just hook up a switch to engage and disengage the overdrive? The 46 RH is the better move. See, Jamie knows a lot of stuff that I don't, guys. Noctua, just an update as a dealership tech in Texas. Business is the slowest me or any of my coworkers have ever seen since 2009. Nobody is making 80 hours, extremely concerning. Bro, it's just getting started.
What OEM do you work for, sir?
Olive was saying she did go dual exhaust on her Duster, partly because it made more sense with the long headers. And of course, there's nothing wrong with dual exhaust. He was just it was like one of those theoretical questions. Like, so let's talk about the pros and the cons of both. The dual exhaust is the default exhaust system for the vast majority of high performance cars. Let's see. So we're going over tonight, guys. We usually end at 9 o'clock, but we didn't get started until late because we were having problems. So we're gonna run a little bit longer.
Run a few more minutes. Yeah.
Triple exhaust try-by. There's torque to be found with those headers. Speed Demon is saying hit the like button. Yes, that would be great. That would be awesome if you hit the like button. Joe K, how to determine what size primaries you need on your headers? Who has the calculator? One of the
Isn't it Bizarre who has it?
Vizard may have it, but I think one of the header manufacturers has a calculator. Just Google exhaust header calculator, and there's a calculator that give you a formula. You plug in all your information. It'll tell you the optimum primary diameter, length, collector diameter, collector length. But I don't know who it is. I know it's there, but I don't know whose it is. And Zero just put up the link to Dr. Art's channel, so yes, go there and subscribe.
And people that already have, thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah. Creeping up on 8,000. So.
Right, and do it while he's still talking to me. This is important. Because he's going to tell me like everybody else, so get those subs on his channel now.
Right. Unless you want to see Tony doing this by himself.
Again. Again.
Okay, what's this here? Chrysler and friends who have went to work at other dealerships are saying the same situation. They're across America OEMs like Ford and Chevy imports seem to be doing okay, but slower than usual.
My friend, I don't want to piss on your cloud or anything like that, right? But just understand, right now, okay, 80% of the people surveyed, average American surveyed, consider fast food to be a luxury. Right? This is yesterday or the day before yesterday. Okay, they did a survey, right? 80% of the average Americans consider fast food to be a luxury now. 80%. Right? You think about this, right? Credit card debt is at an all-time high, never been higher. Okay. Delinquencies on car loans, delinquencies on mortgages, delinquencies on everything has never been higher, setting records every single freaking day. Okay. Now, how much money do you think the average person has to just spend by taking their car to the dealer? Because usually a lot of your work is going to be, oh, my 3-year-old car, it has a squeak. You know what I mean? Can you fix this? Right? A lot of your time is all going to be filled up with that. People are not going to go for the minor repairs. They're only going to be in there when it's absolutely this shit will not run or won't pass inspection or whatever it happens to be. That's when you're going to get work. And it's going to get tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. That's the cycle that we're in. Accept it and start working on your contingency plans, my brother. Stephen Machurik, it cost me $15 for a Subway sandwich today.
Yes.
Can you imagine that?
Yes, but it used to be a $5 foot long. Now it's $15 for a 3/4. Yeah, meatball sub. But that's the world we're living in right now, and it will change. It's never going to go backwards, but it'll slow down a hair, hopefully.
What's going to slow down?
This hyperinflation thing. No.
Oh, it'll do this.
Yeah. It's not going to go
But yeah,
backwards.
look at it. It's going off the chart.
Yeah.
So. Speed and demon fast foods aren't healthy anyway. I agree with you. I think that the average person being priced out of fast food is the best thing that could happen to those as intimate as individuals. It forces them to actually go to the store and buy like things they're going to cook
Like
for
food
themselves.
and cook. So
Like real food.
they will not be so obese when they have to work for their food instead of just open bag into face and go home and sleep on it. Yeah.
The real 50-inch DOP here in New York. I never seen so many cars driving that are absolutely falling apart, stuff dragging, grinding, knocking, just too expensive to go to a shop. I noticed it this week here in Murfreesboro. I keep seeing late model cars with body damage that I haven't seen. Like, in fact, I was sitting in traffic. I was on one of my motorcycles this afternoon, and I was sitting in traffic, and I looked to my side. And it was a blue Dodge Challenger, newish Challenger, and they had been sideswiped, and they were just driving. And that's something you never saw around here. As soon as these cars had any type of body damage, like, get it fixed. But I'm seeing more and more body damage that people are just like, I'm just going to drive this thing. Yeah, it's a sign of the times. And we're in an oasis right here. Right, we haven't been affected really by any of the things that most of the rest of the country's been affected by. So yeah, it's coming, bros. It's coming. Serica. Lucky Lindy's over 50. I agree. Cars are too high. Inflation has been crazy for the last 4 years.
Yes. And that's for everyone who was asking what channel this is sub to. There she is.
Yeah, that's his wife.
Yeah.
Mrs. Art.
Yeah. What's Chris saying here? Bodywork is crazy expensive. Got bumped from behind in January. Car is still drivable. Insurance coughed up $6,200 to fix it.
Let's see. Climb lawn care and stuff out. Be prepared, not scared. Yep, absolutely. Opportunity of a lifetime. That's exactly right. People, when stuff like this happens, right? You get two paths. You got some people who are just kind of like, oh, the world is coming to an end. I'm screwed. And then you got other people like there are opportunities to be had. So.
Because when times get tough, people liquidate all the toys.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And you can hang on to the toys for 5 years and make a killing when everything rolls back.
Yeah, I wouldn't even worry about that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think we're going to see the rollback down the
But you think it's over for
us?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to see the other side of this.
Okay.
This is So this is a
Fucking cliff.
it's the end of a condatrive super cycle, a grand super cycle, I should say. So you're looking at probably 30 to 50 years before everything returns to a new state of whatever the new normal is going to be. So now we're just entering the age of flux. It's going to be crazy.
Okay.
Place to be? Small motorcycles and scooters.
People still got to get around.
People still got to get around. Small motorcycles and scooters. You don't see it right now. Give it just a little time. Rocco, good time to be an opportunist. Bro, every day is a good time to be an
opportunist. Yeah.
SRP inflation came down, but corporations kept their prices up. What inflation came down? Which government figures are you going by that indicates inflation went down? Come on, stop that. Go to the store and tell me. Go do the grocery shopping, right? And tell me how inflation has come down. Yeah, let's not even talk about that subway guy on this thing, okay? Thank you. Zero. His personally has been forced to drive the speed limit.
Yeah. Can't afford the gas to drive 80 miles an hour anymore. Yeah.
Yep, $200 grocery bill is now a $400 grocery bill for the family. Yep.
Oh, it's $100 just to walk in. That's,
Real 50-inch DLP. Bag of toilet paper I used to buy for $13 is $36 here now. I can't even afford to shit anymore. Coffee filters, man. Coffee filters. Right. Yeah, inflation. Listen. If you guys haven't figured out yet, right, that all of those statistics are cooked and they're twisted and they're complete fabrications. If you haven't figured that out yet, you're lost. Okay, it's that simple. If you go on by numbers, if you go on by this rate and that rate and everything, you're lost. Okay, you're lost. Stray bullet, yes, you can flush coffee filters. I found this out when we had the coffee house, and we were forever running out of toilet paper. So the old standby, when you run out of toilet paper, is you leave a stack of coffee filters in there, and they work and they flush, and they're cheaper than toilet paper.
The round one, not the triangle ones, right?
Yeah.
Two metals to invest in: gold and lead.
Yeah, you just shoot your way out of it, man.
Yeah, not going to do much good.
Mark, I'm late, but has there been a date set for the UTG Dead Dodge Garage drag race? Yes, it's happening this Friday. I'd invest in tin. Steve, that's actually not a bad. That's not a bad play. Tin is not a bad. But that's only if you play in the markets. If you play in paper, then tin is definitely right now. I think tin is tin and copper both, but not if you're talking about actually stockpiling tin. Don't bother. You guys wipe? Speed Demon, man. He's too fast to wipe. Olive, there are no inflationary pressures to explain the price gouging. It's not price gouging. The corporations are doubling their profits, not forced to raise prices. It's that simple, and they ain't shy about it. Oh, inflation isn't about corporations raising prices. Inflation is about more dollars chasing the same amount of goods. One thing has nothing to do with the other. One thing has nothing to do with the other. Every time they borrow another $1 trillion into existence, it's another $1 trillion in the global market that are chasing the same things. So if everybody has $1 and a loaf of bread is $1, it's an even thing. But if everybody's got $10, then the loaf of bread, the price of the loaf of bread goes up to meet the amount of money that's out there. So as long as they keep pumping money into the system, the prices on everything is going to go up. That's what inflation is. Inflation isn't about prices rising. Inflation is about the value of the currency you're using to buy it going down. They don't teach you this shit in school. And the profits are just paper profits. They're not real. SYD Ryder says dogs are animals. You are right. Ragtop DLX ZL1, 38,441 Dow Jones. Yeah, it's called a melt up. It's called a melt up. You'll see Dow Jones 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. It doesn't mean anything.
No.
And Erica says dogs are the best. And yes, they are. I want to live in a dog world. More permanent supply and demand. Demand creates inflation. The demand that people got to eat. they got to heat their house, right? They got to get to wherever they got to be. Yeah, those are demands, but that's not inflation. All of corporations actually are boasting about what they're doing to shareholders. Listen, what those sociopaths do, I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't make any difference. It doesn't affect us. Trust me on this. SRP, I got a lot to learn. SRP, what do I have to learn? I've been at this. I've been in this realm since the mid 1990s. Tell me what I have to learn.
Is he addressing that to you or somebody else?
Yeah, he says I got a lot to learn. Stick to Mopars. Okay. Ninja Mouse, what were the golden years for hot rodding? In my opinion, the high water mark was like right around 1970. Rocco, is it worth buying physical silver at this point? Doesn't seem practical in the short term. Yes, I would buy as much as you can comfortably see your way to buying, right? Don't cripple yourself buying it, right? But yes, if you have any extra money to save, do it in silver.
Yeah, even if it's a few $100 a month.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything. Just anything you can, just a couple of ounces. If you have 1 ounce, if you have 1 ounce of physical silver, you have more silver than 99 point, there's only like 0.2 or 0.3% of the general population hold any precious metals at all. If you have 1 ounce of physical silver, you've got more than 99 point something percent of the population. So don't worry about if you can't buy a lot of it, just buy some of it, anything that you can. And Russ Peter and Delaware is correct. Lots of fake gold and fake silver coming out of China right now. Don't buy precious metals off the street. Don't buy it off of Marketplace or Craigslist. If you're going to buy precious metals, do it from somebody who's in the business, right? Like a local coin shop. They all have testers. They can test these things electronically and tell you exactly what the composition of it is. So yeah, don't be buying the stuff off the street. My guy has drawers full of counterfeit stuff that he finds all the time. So and some of it looks really convincing. So buy from a recognized dealer. Steven Maturik, when the shit hits the fan, your gold won't mean anything. I don't want to keep talking about this because it's supposed to be a tech talk thing, but I'll give you this, okay? World War II, Germany, the whole Holocaust thing, okay? The price of freedom, if you wanted to get somebody out of the camp, right? The price of freedom was 1 ounce of gold. So let's just say, for example, you had a cousin, a relative, a friend, whatever it was that was in the camps, in that system, and you wanted them extricated. The price of freedom was 1 ounce of gold. I didn't make this up. It's in the history. Go look it up for yourself. So you tell me how valuable it is when this shit hits the fan.
You're probably wearing more than an ounce of silver.
Good for you, Oliver.
Yeah.
All right, so let's wrap this thing up.
All right.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, we should have Big Richard fired up in the next week or so.
I'm so excited. I just wet myself.
You just peed a little.
Yes, I peed a little.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will it really make power tour? There's still a coin flip.
Okay.
Because
you're gonna try like hell.
Yeah. It's all there, but like I said, there was nothing with the truck. So every little widget and bracket and everything else you have to source somewhere, and sometimes you can't get that shit because it's old stuff. But other than that, we should have a couple of videos coming out over the weekend, and 7 o'clock Central Monday night we'll have another live.
Yes, every Monday night he does a live 7 o'clock. I'll try to jump in on the next one.
Yeah.
I was what was I doing? What the hell was I doing? I don't know.
Oh, and then Friday when I find out where it is, we'll have our version of the cake race.
Yes, this Friday. I don't know if we're going to live stream. I don't know if we'll be able to live stream, but this Friday we'll be racing Jamie from Dead Dodge Garage. He'll be here tomorrow. We'll probably try to do a live together tomorrow night.
What's funny because last year we had a Memorial Day, we had a meat race, and this is like
that's right.
After Memorial Day, you're gonna have a cake race.
See, always for food, man. We'll race for food. So I think that's it, right?
You have anything cooking?
No, no, I really don't. When I do, I'll let you guys know. You'll be the first. You'll be the second to know.
Yeah.
All right. War in the Woods this weekend. Oh, great race. Oh, yeah, I wanted to make that, but it's not going to happen.
And are you going to ever make a commitment for a monitor and new equipment and stuff like that? So
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, Kathy's watching. He said yes.
Yes. I'll have the sound straightened out. I'm probably going to have to get another laptop. I think this thing is just too hard. So it's old. We started. I've been doing lives on this thing for 6 years now. So all right, guys. So that's it. Everybody contribute super chat. Thank you so much. Always appreciated. Never accepted, but always expected, but always appreciated. And everybody can contribute over to Steve Magnati. You guys are freaking awesome. Thank you. The community is fucking great. Our awesome mods. Zero, Mexican Spec, Fubar, Ari. I don't know if Ari was around here. I don't know, but thank you guys always. Jamie, Dead Dodge Garage. He's currently on the road making his way here. He'll be here tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, and we'll see what goes on. And then we're racing on Friday. And I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, that'll bring everybody up to speed.
That's it. And of course, go sub to Dr. Art's Hot Rod Rehab. And that's it, guys. I'm going to pull a plug, yeah? We good with that? You guys okay with that? I'll make it go away now. All right. We're out. Good night, all.